check this out. Here's an elbow. There it is. This is closed. This is open. There are all sorts of things that you can do with this. There are all sorts of reasons that you want this open. We're going to get into exactly what's going on. But all I'm looking to do from pretty much every position in existence is this. If you can do that, you can almost certainly kick my ass. If you can't, well, you may beat me up another way, but you're not going to be able to easily get through all of my defenses if I understand how to make it work. Very, very important to understand, guys. Low-level fighters, poor fighters, and hey, don't get me wrong, doesn't mean that they can't get you every now and then, but poor fighters take themselves out of position. Good fighters do not. Great fighters never take themselves out of position. You have to take a great fighter out of position if you hope to beat him or her. And what that means is creating instability and structural problems with their defense, because if you give them the tools and you give them the resources and they're a great fighter, they know what to do with them. You can give me all the resources in the world. If I'm a poor fighter, I may just screw up. But if I know what to do and I have the means to do it, I will do it right. So what we are simply looking to create in every single situation is this. Hand up, hand down, whatever. Not too big of a deal. I want you to think of the open elbow as getting their arm as reasonably far away from their side, from their hip as you can. 90 degrees is a great thing. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But the closer I am in here, the better off I am. The further out here, better off you are. And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm elbows in, guy. I need you to change yourself for me. Could you do me a favor and open that elbow? Thanks, boss. Yeah, that's my elbows in kind of thing, Kenny Powers style. So if we're here, I'm like, all right, I got the arm lock. This is an arm lock, right? It's a straight arm attack. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Open elbow. I'm like, do me a favor, close your elbow down to your side. I'm like, yeah, let me get that arm lock. Oh, shit, it doesn't work anymore. Hold on. What if you go on your side real quick? I'm like, we open up. I'm like, haha, what this is? This is Kimura. No, it's not. It's an open elbow. Close your elbow down real quick. Yeah, I've got the Kimura grip, but am I threatening you with a submission right now in a way that you think is about to break your arm, Seth?
No.
No, how about now?
Yes.
I'm like, sweet. And oh yeah, what's this? Lever. You start to use it to hurt him. I can do any number of things. The wrist is even a lever too, once you get down to it. But let's try another one. What about the key lock? So, I got the key lock, right? This is a different move than, if you straighten your arm out, that's a different move, right? No, it's not. It's the same move. Why? Close your elbow, please.
Can't.
Okay. So straightening out your arm got you out of trouble, huh?
No.
What do you mean? I thought you got out of the key lock.
I did.
Huh, that's weird. Okay, what if you bring your arm down? That got you. You're safe now, right?
No.
Okay. And I can come and get the arm. And so you're safe now, right?
No.
No? But you're out of the straight arm lock.
That's true, but it's still in a Kimura.
Correct. Okay, so I must be screwing this up. Pardon me if you sorry me. All right, so you straighten your arm out. No more threat now, right?
Yeah, back in the straight arm lock.
What? Because what hasn't changed?
The positioning of my elbow relative to my body.
He's in danger the whole dang time. Under no circumstances was he able to, in that scenario, was he able to put himself back in safety. As long as I preserved. Well, hold on, one more time, man, please. All right, because I'm probably there's something I'm missing. All right, so I'm like here. Okay, so suck your elbow in. Okay, now straighten your arm. All right, now I'm gonna straight arm lock him, right? No. Wait. Oh yeah, his elbow's in. Well, hold on, wait, put your hand down. All right, You're in danger for the Kimura, right?
No.
Not yet?
No.
How about now?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. Let's say if I get the Kimura grip in here, we can do all kinds of stuff, but I'm going to finish with this Kimura, right?
Probably not.
How about now?
Yeah, good chance.
Wow, what did that create?
Open elbow.
Correct. So, under any circumstance with the open elbow, you are at so much risk, it's not even funny. Seth's arm naturally rests adjacent to his side. So when I latch onto the Kimura, what's going on is I'm torquing his wrists, and we're going to get into the specifics of the grip and everything here, but I'm creating instability in Seth's arm, and what it's doing is it's forcing him to do something very, very important, which is grip his side. This is making him choose, because Seth, if you let me have your arm up like this, he has to suffer through the fact that he's weakened physically. I have a big old lever here that I can use to hurt him. We can get into wrist lock and other stuff like that later on. It's less important. If you can control the Kimura, believe me, you can wrist lock somebody. But I'm going to be able to bring his hand behind his back, all that stuff. And Seth, knowing this threat is incredibly important, because If I only level one threat at you, I say, give me your money. You're like, no. But I say, give me your money or else. You're like, or else what? Well, or else I will beat you to within an inch of your life. You're like, well, how much money is it? $10 billion? It's all right. I'll take the ass whipping. $100? Here, have my money if I think that you'll leave me alone. So the idea is I'm threatening you. I say, look, Seth, I'm going to rip your arm off. How do you feel about that? He says, no. I'm like, fantastic. Well, guess what? He now has a giant, colossal gap in his defense. So if let's say we sit up here, and I've got my arms, you try to run around behind me, I'm like, I stop you. Well, now I try to stick my arm out, and you threaten the Kimura. Well, if I keep it out here, what's going to happen? You're going to put my hand behind my back, because effectively the Kimura is, if you want to just take it down to bare bones, just a bullying the other person's arm, technically with leverage, behind their back and hurting their shoulder. So I go, no, and I attach it to the front side of my body, because, again, the opposite of good is bad. And if my back is bad, the chest is good. Fantastic. Unless you are strong enough to push my arm through my chest, in which case I have much bigger problems, you are not going to be Kimura-ing me. Only downside is what? There's a gaping hole in my defense now that you can start to pass through, that you can start to use to control me. So not only, guys, does this open elbow in the first place create all kinds of trouble for the other guy, what we're doing is we're putting him in one of those catch-22 situations that sucks. I'm like, hey, the knife or the gun. You're like, are you serious? There's no third option. I'm not walking out of here alive. You're like, no. Fuck, that sucks. Now I have to pick between two things that I don't want. If I say, give me your money, yes or no, you should say no. I'm like, I have to threaten you with something else, and that's what this effectively does. So the Kimura is absolutely critical. There's other positions that you can do the same thing with, but this is one of the most versatile. This is probably the most versatile. You can snatch from the top, from the bottom, from the feet, from standing, from anywhere. You can hurt someone's arm with it. You can control them. There's so much going on here. It's just one thing I need you guys to think about as we go forward. The Kimura is not a submission. It is a position. Just like everything that is utilized effectively, it's not about the thing itself. It's about what that thing gives me. Most people snatch the Kimura and try to bully somebody with it and like, I'm going to break your arm off. That's why it only works for people that are big and strong most times. If you utilize the Kimura intelligently, it is a gun to your head that says, look, man, I'm going to need you to do exactly what I want or navigate yourself very, very carefully from here on out, or you're going to find, a situation that you're not going to like. I caught the Kimura position. He's trying to put his back to the mat. I'm having a hard time, and I walked behind, but I wasn't able to feel like I was going to get his hand away from his body. I'm like, man, this guy's incredibly strong. This isn't really working out. I don't know how this is going on. Well, what's not working out? It's the submission part of the Kimura that's not working out, because Seth is most certainly compromised. Look at where his hands are, man. If we rotate, he's in like 110% defense mode, and I'm fine here. This is absolutely, an okay position for me. And even if I can't get his arm away from his body, I'm like, man, I can't put his hand behind his back. I do not care even a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bicep behind his elbow and my chest behind his shoulder, and I'm going to project into him to roll him to his side. Now, from here, I understand that, look, my arm, all it has to do, the transition from the Kimura to the Ezekiel is so small. I simply remove the hand from the wrist, shoot my other hand through as I rotate my hips towards Seth's. The reason that I do that is with this space, this wide space, it creates movement room for Seth. I don't want wiggle room. Wiggle room is bad. Space equals movement, and movement equals advantage to person that wants to leave. So let's say, for instance, you mount me. You're not trying to move. You're like, hey, I like it here. Things are great the way that they are. I want to move as the person on bottom. So, and that's one other important thing to remember. If I put together a 19-count combination where, like, I'm in the mount, and then you bridge out, and then I do this and that, and I catch the triangle, everyone looks cool, and everyone goes, oh, shit, that was awesome. Look, what really would have been awesome is you stapled to the floor, completely unable to move, and then, oh yeah, I just cross-choked you or put my forearm across your neck. That would have been higher level. It doesn't look as cool, but it limits all of the variables, and that's what we're trying to do here. So, again, I'm not trying to make this entertaining. When things end up entertaining, they end up entertaining, but ideally I want it to be as boring and clinical as possible. So, if we rotate a little bit, my hand is simply going to shoot. My hand, or rather my left hand removes the wrist. My right hand shoots behind to the back of Seth's neck. Notice my thumb going to the back of his neck. Immediately, I grip my own sleeve. And common error here is to put the hand up and start to dig with it. And hey, guess what? Even if you do most chokes wrong, they still kind of work. Because you're still choking dude's neck. But this is nowhere near as efficient as it could be. So right now, it's just uncomfortable. Yeah, but I'm punching down with my fist. What I should be doing is I'm going to drop behind Seth. so that my shoulder, we've discussed this in the arm triangle series, so my shoulder starts to compress Seth's into the side of his neck. Can we walk to your left a little? Notice, I've made, and Seth was the one that figured this whole deal out, I've made a triangle here with my Ezekiel position, as opposed to here, I have two parallel lines, parallel-ish. I'm going to lock up like this, and it creates the noose around your neck that is your traditional triangle position, the same one with the leg, the same one with the arm triangle, same one we described in depth elsewhere, but it's an important combination where we're just going to go bang, bang, right here. My elbow can be open, but you got to be able to do something about it. That's like being like, oh man, Floyd's right side of his head is open, or left side of his head is open, I guess because he's righty. Man, hit him. Well, are you in position? Forget the fact that you'd actually have to be able to do it. Are you in position to do it? Let's say right now, Floyd Mayweather is almost certainly not protecting his head as I speak. Why? Well, he may be boxing, but even then, he's not protecting his head from me, but I'm not in position to do anything about it. Like, seriously, think about it like that. If I'm not in position to counter you, whatever it is that you're doing doesn't matter. So here I am trying to get my underhook. Is my elbow open on some level when I underhook you? For sure. Do something about it. You ain't got nothing. Or scoot away. I'm too powerful here. He's got no means to really meaningfully, no method or no access to being able to meaningfully get me out of position. However, if Seth stops me a little earlier, so let's say I reach in for the underhook. So watch the path. Seth, open your left elbow, please, and I go, wah, 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 wah. Okay, great, and I follow with my body here. I'm bringing my body to my arm. If I go here, that's not what we want. So I go like this now. Seth checks me. Now my arm is far away from my body and it can be affected. It's a giant lever. When it's in like this, it's not that there's nothing you can do. It's just really tough. And, oh, yeah, I'm not going to just lay there and let you beat me up. So Seth tries to open. As he opens there, he creates the impression of an opening here. And I'm like, gotcha. Boom. And he checks me. Now, we'll get into, again, how to kind of go into this later, the specific attack. Omoplata me real quick. Very easy because Seth caught me in a vulnerable position. Do me a favor. Try to omoplata me without checking me as I underhook you. Oh, I'm going to go even slower. You can go fast. Go. I don't pass the guard that slowly. No one worth a damn does. But you are not omoplating me unless you can keep me at a vulnerable range. So one more time. This time, Seth checks me. Wow, look at that. He used his elbow instead of his hand. That's so weird. Why didn't? That's a different move, right? No, it's the same move. He's just not letting me get close enough. So I have this understanding that, yeah, I'm going to reach over there, but I'm going to follow it up. And Seth says, yeah, that first part's true, but I'm not going to let you do the second part. So I go, ha-ha, boom. See how my arm, if we rotate, is open. This is the sort of trap we're looking for. Now you can do this from when you're seated, or rather on your back. You do this seated, Seth, you're over here. You'll see this done. I do this all the time. Marcelo Garcia does this all the time. Reach for your underhook on the side they can see. So, boom. Wow, I'm using my head this time. Does your elbow feel open?
Yes.
Great. You're in trouble. And again, we're going through the attack that we're following up with in most of these cases is the omoplata, but recognize there's other stuff you can most certainly do. Just kind of, there's no way that I could show everything possible. I just want you guys to recognize that the driving force behind whether or not you succeed or fail is going to be whether or not you get me out of position. Because if I'm out of position, I may know what to do. It's not like I don't know how to pass the guard. I'm not perfect, but I know how to pass the guard. But what can I do if I'm out of position? By definition, I'm not where I need to be. Peyton Manning doesn't throw the ball well like this. He may throw it better than I do like this, but I guarantee you I throw it better this way than he does that way. If he's out of position and I'm not, I will actually be a more effective quarterback than he is. Ridiculous as that sounds. So, why is Peyton Manning such a problem? One, he has the ability to see the game and read on a level that's hard for me to kind of wrap my head around, but he's always in position. He's always set. He's always ready to move. He's always go this way. He can see. He's in proper angle, proper structure. Wow. No wonder he's so good. You watch guys that aren't fundamentally sound. They're out of position. Their feet aren't there. Their body's kind of torqued out. They're not looking the right way. They're twisting. They're not throwing. They're not planting properly. All that stuff. So what I want you guys just to consider is what constitutes vulnerability. And then you start to go, oh, I can control this entire thing.